Hey guys, it's our last unit in this chapter, so we're going to be finding areas of composite figures today, and it tells you here kind of what the method of that is. To find the area of a composite figure, separate it into figures with areas you know how to find, and then find the sum of the areas of those figures, which just means you're going to add them up. For the grid paper questions, rather than counting all of the squares, let's break this up into some shapes that are familiar, that are easy to find the area of. So there's a rectangle that is, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 by 8. So I can do 8 times 4 and just quickly see that the area of this is 32. Let's see. I'm going to break this up into some easier shapes. Even though you guys might be seeing this differently than I like to break it up into more shapes if needed, even if, just because it's easier if I have easier shapes. So that one's a 3 by 3, which means the area of that guy is 9. And I've got a couple triangles, and I just want to remind you that the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. And so here's my base, here's my height. The reason it's 1/2 base times height is because if I were to do base times height, that just gives me the area of the square, but I want half of that. And if I had a 2 by 2, in this case, if I had a 2 by 2 triangle, and that would be 4, which I'm doing half of 4 is 2. And so I probably showed a little too much work for this one. So I'll back it down for this last one. So the area of this guy is going to be half of the base times the height, right? So base times height here is 9. Half of that is 4.5. And so I'm going to add the triangle that I found before, add that to this one, 9. Add that to this one, which is 4.5, and add that to the area of the big guy, and that'll give us the total. So I'm going to just use a calculator for this. 2 plus 9 plus 4.5 plus 32 and 47.5. The area of this composite shape is 47.5 square units. Units squared, because we're just talking about these units. Alright. Find the area of the portion of the basketball court shown below. We can do this by breaking it up into this rectangle and then this semicircle. So I've got a rectangle. Boy, I didn't mean to do that in red again. I wanted to change it to black. So here we're going to find the area of the rectangle, and here we're going to find the area of the semicircle, which remember is just going to be half of that circle. So our rectangle is length and width. And in this case, our length is 19, and our width is, boy, I messed it up, 12. So I'm going to go 19 times 12, and the area of this guy is going to be 19 times 12, 288, 288, 228. Come on, Jackson, pull it together. 228 square feet. Now we're going to do the same with the semicircle. Now remember, the area of the circle, pi times the radius squared. Now, because we're talking about half of a circle, we are going to take that answer and we're going to cut it in half. So we need the radius squared. What we have here, this distance all the way across, that's our diameter. And that's this is 12. Diameter is 12. And remember, if we want the radius, we're going to cut that in half. So the radius is 6. That's what I want to use here. So I'm just going to keep using red. 3.14 times. Now we said the radius is 6 squared. And remember, that's the area of the whole circle. I want half of it, because that's this guy. So we're going to do 6 squared is 36. So I have 3.14 times 36. Then I want to take half of all that. 3.14 times 36, I'm going to do on a calculator. 3.14 times 36, 113.04. Now that's the area of the whole circle, 113.04. Yep. But remember, half of it. So, the area of my semicircle is going to be that divided by 2, 56.52. 56.52. And I'm running out of room, but square feet. Now, I want the area of the whole basketball court. That is this whole thing, which is the rectangle plus the semicircle. So I say total is the area of the rectangle, 228, plus area of the semicircle, 56.52, which is going to equal 228 plus 56.52 plus 228, 284.52, 284.52 square feet. There it is. So just use the shapes that you know and the formulas that you know to help you break it up into familiar pieces and add them back up at the end. I have one more example to show you that has multiple formulas to use, and this is going to be a good reference for you because it gives you the area of a triangle formula, it gives you the area of a rectangle formula here, and also just a parallelogram. Parallelogram is based on kind of the same formula as a rectangle. Oh my, look at this. So, figures made up of a triangle, rectangle, and a parallelogram. We have a few, oh yes, we have one triangle. Okay, so I'm going to do this one in red. That's this guy, yeah? So the base of this triangle, calculate the area of this, I'm going to go 1/2 times the base is 11.2. And then I'm going to multiply again by, I'm going to put these in parentheses, times the height. Now the height of that triangle is 4.5. Okay, move this guy over a little bit. So we're going to do 1/2 of 11.2 times 4.5. 11.2 times 4.5. And I'm going to do half of that. Divide by 2. 25.2. So the area of this triangle, 25.2 square centimeters. Now let's find the area of the rectangle. Everything I do for this rectangle, I'm going to go ahead and model in blue. Here's our rectangle. Remember, rectangle is length times width. The length here is 8 times the width is 4.5. So I'm going to say area is 8 times 4.5. 8 times 4.5. Boy, I did that wrong. 8 times 4.5. 36. So the area of this rectangle is 36 square centimeters. Alrighty, here we go. One more. I'll do this one in green. That's this parallelogram. Base times height. Base is 8 times the height, 6.7. Alright, and so 8 times 6.7, 53.6. 53.6. Also centimeters. And so the total area is going to be all of these added together, 25.2 32 plus the 36 plus the 50, did we say 53.6? We did, 53.6. And so I would do 53.6 plus 36 plus 25.2, 114.8. 114.8 square centimeters, the area of that shape. So again, I think that this slide is going to be a good reference for you because it gives you area formulas for a lot of different shapes that you might not have right in the forefront of your mind. So there you go. Hopefully this was helpful.